What's going on, everybody? It's Joe from the Acceptable Casualties. We're here to kind of show you guys what I've been working on. Actually, it hasn't really been that much work, to be honest with you. It might look like it, but I ended up taking a company of my Soviets that had based for Flames of War, and I ended up rebasing 100 guys and did a full company for Battle Group. I still have a full company left on the four-man bases, like Flames of War style. But I decided to take one company and single base them for when I play Battle Group. I mean, you can still play with both of them with the mix, but I thought it would be fun to torture Vin as he sat on the table and watch me move 100 Soviets across the battlefield. Just another way to kind of get under his skin a little bit. But putting this together, when I first took it on and I was looking at it, and it was like, I think it was 24 or 28 bases or something like that is what I had sitting there. This is just the company. I had a couple extra bases that I did as well. Of guys, I was thinking, man, this is going to take me forever to put it together, but surprisingly, it went really quick. And I think I was able to do this while my daughters were sitting down. They were coloring in their coloring books. And over the course of like 2 nights, roughly, I think 3 hours in total, I was able to kind of pluck all these guys off, clean them up a little bit, and then put them down on the MDF bases. I haven't put the actual basing on yet. I'm still waiting for some, I got some tall like summer grass to kind of decorate the bases. I'm going for that Eastern Front, like burnt kind of wheat field look on top of with the Vallejo Russian mud is what I'm gonna be using for the actual soil part of the base. So once I get that in, I'm gonna actually finish these up. But I just kind of went ahead and put these up on the bases right now. So kind of give you guys like a closer look at what I got here. These figures are pretty old. They're the metal ones from Battlefront. So let me see if I can get a better look here. So I ended up plucking them off. It was like a sand and white glue basing for some of these, and the other ones were kind of like a spackling base. It was different kinds of bases, so it was different ways to pluck them off, and they actually came off with a little bit of elbow grease. You were able to get them off pretty well. I put them on these 15mm MDF bases from Sarissa. I ended up ordering like 200 of them a couple months ago, and that's kind of what I put them on right now. A little note for you guys: I haven't tried doing it with plastic yet, but after doing the rebasing with some of these metal models here, I wouldn't feel super confident plucking off a bunch of plastic infantrymen off plastic bases, especially if you use some kind of glue that really bonded them together. Because there's some guys in here that I kind of dinged up the outside rim of that metal base, just trying to prime off the base. Like, here's one of the bases I kept just to show you guys. So this is the one where I just used white glue and sand basing, and they popped off pretty good, but there were some of them that I had to go in there, and as you can see, the basing stuck really well, just kind of getting, I used a Leatherman. Let me show you guys here. So I have my Leatherman, and I use there's like a really small screwdriver, and it has like if I pull it up there, it's a really thin tip on there, so I was able to kind of get under the groove and pop them out pretty well, and get them off the base here. But like I said, sometimes they're stuck to there pretty well, and I had to kind of grind up underneath of that metal base. If it was plastic, I think if these guys were plastic, I would have broke a lot more. And like I said, I didn't have any issues. I think I scuffed up one guy's paint job in all as far as plucking these off. So, if you're doing it with metal, it works a lot better opposed to doing it with plastic. Like I said, but I haven't done it with plastic yet. I'm just saying based off of what I've done so far. As far as putting these on there. So yeah, I ended up putting them on the MDF bases. Like you see, the command teams I ended up doing still 3-man teams, but I just put them on the circle bases, just so they match the other circle stuff that I have for these other guys. Workload wise, like I said, it was 3 hours. Wasn't super hard to do it. It was just kind of tedious work. I know if you're doing it, if you guys haven't done it before, this is like the first major rebasing project I had. If you guys use, there's like the pumice basing or the spackling basing. When I was popping these guys off, what I noticed was on those bases, not these ones. These ones were just the white glue. I didn't keep any of the spackling ones because when you pop the screwdriver head underneath there, you tend to pop up the white spackling more, and that actually helps lift the model off the base. And those were a lot easier to get off than just doing the white glue bases. And I think here's some of the spackling ones here. So you can kind of see the white rim still left on there. So when you pop the spackling off, it actually loosens these up and makes them really easy to get off the base. So if you're thinking about doing a rebasing project, especially for infantry, 15 mil. I would say if it's metal infantry, it's worth giving a go if you really want to do it. I don't think, you know, as long as you're careful, I don't think you're going to damage your models that well. If it's plastic infantry, I'd say do it at your own risk, man. Like maybe like pull one base aside, and if it goes well, you know, maybe continue. But if it's getting a little choppy in there and you're breaking off plastic and guys' ankles are snapping off the base, I probably wouldn't do it. It doesn't seem like the plastic ones can kind of take that much pressure that you're going to be putting on as far as the base goes and handling the models, especially like I said, if you're using that kind of super glue or adhesive where it melts and kind of bonds the plastics together, you might be better off just going out and starting fresh as far as putting it together. But yeah, this is just wanted to show you guys, you know, it's doable. It doesn't take that much work. Like I said, this is like roughly 3, maybe 4 hours. If I was feeling a little generous, maybe like between 3 and 4 hours of breaking these guys off the bases, rebasing them, and then all I have to go through is just go through and just actually put the basing on them, and they're ready to go for battle group. So just kind of give you guys a look what I've been working on here. I just got to start finishing up these Soviets because I got a whole boatload of Germans for early war that I got to start putting together, and I'll show you guys a video of what I got in store for that coming up for the spring. Hopefully I can get it done quicker than that. Hopefully by the end of winter, that would be awesome. But yeah, you guys got any questions, any tips for doing this? Like I said, this is my first time doing basing. I just kind of wanted to share with you guys how I kind of handled it. But if there's a for rebasing painted models, if there's a method that maybe you guys know is like tried and true or something that worked for you that might be a little bit different, please pass it along. Comment section, go on the Facebook page that we got set up now, like we can talk about it on there as well, and just kind of share with people how to do it, because it looks a little intimidating when you're thinking about doing it, but once you get in that groove and you start popping these guys off the bases for whatever game you're going to rebase for, it's not as daunting of a task as it seems at first. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.